Single dad removed from VIP seat for CEO passenger. 5 minutes later, entire crew was fired. The moment the flight attendant stopped beside Daniel Carter's VIP seat, the entire first-class cabin fell silent. Passengers looked up from their coffee and laptops as she demanded that he leave immediately. Daniel didn't argue. He simply glanced at the framed photo of his 8-year-old daughter tucked inside his wallet, took a slow breath, and quietly stood. The reason shocked everyone. A wealthy CEO had arrived at the last minute, and the crew decided that Daniel's confirmed VIP seat mattered less than the executive's comfort. No one could have imagined that only 5 minutes later, a single phone call would expose a truth that would change every life on that aircraft forever. Before we continue, if you believe kindness, fairness, and second chances still matter in this world, please take a moment to like this video. Leave a comment telling us where you're watching from, share this story with someone who believes in doing the right thing, and subscribe to Kindness Echoes for more emotional stories that remind us humanity still exists. Daniel Carter wasn't famous. He wasn't wealthy. He wasn't dressed in an expensive designer suit or carrying luxury luggage. He was simply a hardworking single father who had spent the last 9 years raising his daughter Lily after losing his wife to illness. Every extra dollar he earned went toward Lily's education, medical appointments for her asthma, and the little surprises that kept her smiling despite growing up without her mother. The VIP ticket in his hand wasn't something he had purchased. It had been gifted through a customer appreciation program after years of traveling for a non-profit organization that delivered emergency supplies to struggling communities across the country. This flight mattered because Daniel was flying home after months away, finally returning in time for Lily's birthday. As passengers settled into their seats, Daniel quietly answered a call from Lily, who excitedly told him she had baked a tiny birthday cake herself because she wanted to wait until Daddy came home before celebrating. Tears filled his eyes as he promised he would be there before bedtime. Around him, expensive watches sparkled, champagne glasses clinked together, and conversations about million-dollar contracts filled the cabin. Daniel didn't belong to that world, but he never cared. His greatest treasure was waiting at home. Minutes before takeoff, everything changed. Airline staff rushed through the cabin whispering nervously. A famous corporate executive had boarded unexpectedly after a schedule change. Instead of asking for volunteers or finding another solution, the cabin supervisor walked directly toward Daniel. Without checking his ticket twice, she informed him that he would have to surrender his seat because an important CEO required the space. Daniel calmly explained that his boarding pass clearly showed the seat assignment and that he had done nothing wrong. Still, the crew insisted, speaking louder with every passing second until nearby passengers began recording the incident on their phones. Daniel slowly gathered his belongings. His face revealed disappointment, but not anger. Years of hardship had taught him that dignity often speaks louder than arguments. Before walking away, he quietly asked whether kindness still meant anything in customer service. No one answered. Even the passengers watching seemed uncomfortable as he was escorted toward economy class, while the newly arrived executive settled into the luxurious seat without asking a single question about what had happened. As Daniel squeezed into a crowded middle seat near the back of the aircraft, he called the non-profit office simply to let them know he might arrive later than expected. The call reached someone much higher than expected. Unknown to almost everyone on board, the non-profit had recently merged with one of the airline's largest corporate investors. Daniel wasn't an executive, but he served as the trusted director overseeing humanitarian partnerships funded by billions of dollars in annual donations. His work had quietly influenced major business decisions for years, and the airline's leadership respected him because of his integrity, not because of his title. Within minutes, the airline's Executive Operations Center received a direct report describing what had happened. Security, human resources, and senior management immediately contacted the aircraft before departure. The captain received instructions to delay takeoff. Confused passengers watched as several senior airline officials entered the plane with serious expressions. They didn't walk toward the CEO sitting comfortably in first class. Instead, they continued down the aisle until they reached Daniel's cramped economy seat. The officials apologized publicly in front of everyone.